Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, guys. Come on in. Who do we have with us today? Thank you guys for coming and joining me for a early planning session. But I didn't want to take away from our virtual writing retreat in any way, and this was an empty time slot. So I decided I would grab this and we would get our planning done. And this also allows everyone a little more flexibility throughout the weekend to do their planning when they find pockets. They can do it during the sprints or they can wherever it fits, right? They can do it as a nighttime ritual as they're mellowing out for the day. Let's see, Elizabeth, hello, hello, hon. How are you doing? Crystal, hello, hello. First time here. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Elizabeth, I grabbed a couch today. Love it. Melanie, hello, everyone. Happy weekend. You too. Kat, just dropping a like. Have to get ready for the day. Happy planning. Well, thank you for dropping that like. Thank you. Jess, my week next week is going to be messed up. My cousin passed away last night, so I have no idea how much time, if any, I will be doing anything. Barely doing virtual retreat because of mental ability to do it right now. Oh, honey. Oh, hugs. Oh, I'm so sorry, hon. Oh, don't worry about the writing, honey. You work from what you need right now, right? Period. Doesn't matter. Don't feel guilty about it. If you use it as a happy place to go to, that's one thing. Forcing yourself to go there, no. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Stephanie, oh my gosh, just hugs, yes. Elizabeth, my biggest gold star moment is getting any writing done at all this week. Plus, I haven't been feeling well and have been dealing with fatigue. Oh, hun. Oh, guys. Stephanie, is there anything I do? Just yes, yes, definitely. Just the Stephanie, not really right now. I'm just surviving the day. Oh, and it's so fresh. And if you need, you, you do what you need right now. That's all there is to it. If this is too much, then don't, right? I know you want to be here, but at the same time, don't overdo it for yourself, okay? Take care of you. You need to do that. Okay, guys, since we were planning a couple days early, our review is going to be a little different, but we can still kind of have an idea of how we did. Monday to Friday is a good measure of what we got done. And the weekend tends to sometimes, well, depending. For me, when it comes to writing, it's the chunk of my writing time, but I do make progress throughout the week, so that's I can still see that I've been showing up, right? Let's see, Elizabeth, I started having chest pain on Wednesday and shortness of breath yesterday, which got worse. Hon, why aren't you in the emergency? Something is definitely not good. Guys, self-care. Self-care can be reading, it can be video games, but it's also taking care of your health, guys. Come on. Have I taught you nothing? Take care of you. Elizabeth, go to a clinic or an emergency room. Something is very off here. You shouldn't be experiencing that, honey. So take care of your body. Take stock. Elizabeth, I went to urgent care this morning. I don't have COVID, the flu, or pneumonia. I probably have a chest cold instead. I was told at emergent care to rest. Okay. And they were thorough, I hope? A chest cold with chest pain. My chest x-ray looks normal. What they say about the infection? Is it in any way connected? Be gentle with yourselves, everyone. Exactly. Thank you, Melanie. Guys. Oh, I wish I could just reach across and give you guys hugs and help fix you and be there for you in more ways. Oh. Stephanie to Jess, okay, hun, just let me know. Okay, yes, exactly. Jess, I'm only here because I want to be with my hearties, but I'm not counting on doing much of anything. I might write during our writing session, but it might not be on my work in progress. There you go. Okay, that is healthy. I love that. Stephanie, are you coughing a lot, Elizabeth? Good question. Let's see. Lindsay, hello all. welcome. Justice Stephanie, okay, thank you. I will hugs, yes. Elizabeth, I wasn't told it was connected. Elizabeth, Stephanie, I started a wet cough this morning. Just sitting alone isn't going to help me. That is true. That's true. I totally agree with that. Crystal, could you please explain how this works? Definitely. I'm going to take you through different panels that are going to work us from reviewing how we did last week so we can measure how we did to basically to taking that and moving into planning for next week by going through the various steps and making sure we're hitting all the key points so that we don't miss anything. And we can also create a plan that is realistic, that we can, with different tiers of success, so that when something happens, we can adjust and proceed. Let's see, Elizabeth, I start wheezing from walking upstairs. Well, maybe chest cold, but Stephanie, Elizabeth, I've had that kind of chest pain when I'm sick. Keep coughing it. Hugs, yeah. Okay, guys, we are going to get into it. Okay, so let's plan the right way. Why we plan: direction, focus, balance, reduce stress, and measure progress. We have to take a look and analyze where we've been to know where we're going, to figure out what works for us, right? Okay, let's begin to write your story. We're going to do, you guys are the protagonist of your own story, of your own world, and we're going to make sure that you hit your goals and succeed at your story. Backstory, definition, a set of events that have occurred before the main story. This is our review, guys. This is where we're going to take a look at last week and see what we accomplished, where our challenges were, where we managed to fix things and keep things going and not get derailed. If we did get derailed, how did we get back on task? What strategies we're using that are working, which ones we kind of have to look at and evaluate and say, maybe not, we got to try something else, right? So first off, for reflection, we are going to celebrate our successes and gold star moments. We're going to analyze our challenges, biggest distractions, and best fixes. We're going to figure out what needs to be carried forward. How much did we accomplish of something? And maybe we took a much bigger chunk of a piece of something that we really had time to do. If we got 50%, we honor ourselves for getting that 50%, right? But at the same time, we realize that, okay, writing 50K this week, that's too much. But maybe 20K could have been possible, right? So is this project bigger or more complex than you thought? Again, we're going to be looking at things, breaking them down, and analyzing them. And we're going to our 2-minute timer up. I'm just going to work from last week's planner. I tried something new this week. I decided to actually put little columns for sprints so that I could just in the different areas show if I was putting any time in. Because generally speaking, I know what is each one of those spots was. So I didn't spend all my time handwriting it out. I just said, okay, I spent a sprint driving practice. I spent a sprint doing video editing. I spent a sprint learning about editing for fiction, and so on and so forth. So I could actually build it up and actually show that I was showing up. All right. Okay, guys, let's get our 2-minute timer up and process through our reflection from last week and see how we did. And go. Well, Jess, I think I'm going to switch my buffer week from August to this week. That's perfect, and that's why we plan this way so we can move things around. We have an idea what we've kind of got in the future, but it's better served this week, right? Stephanie, that's a good idea, Jess. Keep yourself flexible when life throws you things. Yes, yes. Stephanie Elizabeth, hun, you need all the things right now. Tea, a blanket, chicken soup, all of it. Oh, I love that. Elizabeth, I'm hot, so I'm not interested in consuming hot food now. Fruit salad sounds wonderful, though. I like that. Let's see. Crystal, that's how I do my time as well. I love that. Elizabeth, I stayed alive and didn't get bad enough to meet the hospital. I hate being in a hospital. Yeah, I know. I hear ya. Let's see. Jess, I talked to Jen earlier, and she suggested if I feel like it, to write a scene for my work in progress that fills the mood and scenario I'm in to bleed the pain onto the page. I might end up doing that. Oh, that's a great suggestion. I love it. Jenna's right on the mark. Okay, guys. So how did last week go? I have checked more boxes than I thought I would. There's a couple little curveballs that came along, but kind of was able to work around them. Wasn't ideal. I got no words yesterday, which I try not to do, but there were other things that I needed to get done, and I knew that day was most likely going to get mucked up a bit. I saw it coming. It was very much a pinch day, so I'm fine with that. It was expected. I saw it coming, right? Let's see, Elizabeth, this week hasn't gone how I wanted it to. No, it has not. All right, guys. Let's proceed to our next panel. Reluctance. What are you avoiding? Why? Does it still matter? Break it down. Make it priority number one. Schedule it. That's usually the piece that we miss. And get it done. Get it done. If it's a house cleaning thing, pick a corner in your house and attack it. Right? If it is a phone call that you're dreading making, make it. Get it out because it's taking up space in your head right now, right? Make the phone call. It's probably going to be easier than you think. Write that email. Whatever it is, get it done, get it out of the way, right? That way you can stop reacting to it and also carrying it, right? Crystal, yesterday was the first day. I also got no words. Yeah, well, it is I don't know about you, but July, I've been hitting it pretty hard. So, but because, like I said, I knew that was a pinch day, that'll make more sense in a few minutes. We knew that, it wasn't likely to, be great for words. Elizabeth, I scheduled my drove test for August 12th. Oh, you got this, son. You got this. You're going to pass that perfectly, and we're going to celebrate you. Okay, guys, let's dive in with our 2-minute timer. Oops. And figure out what it is we've been avoiding. We're going to circle this thing. We're going to star this thing. We're going to red ink this thing. Whatever we need to do to make sure that this thing gets off of our list and out of our heads and out of our way. Okay, guys, let's proceed. 2 minutes. Okay. Elizabeth, I avoid laundry again, but I'm going to forgive myself since I've been feeling unwell this week. Exactly. I'll do laundry when I have the energy to. Yeah. And it can be one of those sort of low energy things that once you start feeling a bit better, you can just kind of get the checking those boxes, right? Let's see, Jess, I'm avoiding cleaning my desk, but today I just don't care enough to do anything about it. Maybe later in the week if I have time, I'll do it. Yeah. Make it, there's a desk is a functional space. If it's clear enough that you can work, that's good enough for now. Making it all the pretty and totally cleaning it off and wiping it down and all of that, there's a place and time for that, but it's not now, right? Mine's getting a bit unruly again, probably in maybe the start of August or something for the reset for the month or something. Maybe I'll give her a good once over. She's a little bit unruly, but she's functional, so I'm not going to worry about it at all. Stephanie, I'm avoiding doing the paperwork for my virtual mailbox, but I don't have idea why. Is it expensive? Is it a fear of success thing? Is it a next level thing that you're maybe not feeling worthy or up to? What is it? What is standing in your way? Because sometimes we can talk ourselves out of doing things, even if they're good for us, right? Because we're not worthy, right? Jess, I can still see the desk and fit my writing stuff on it, so it works for me for now. Yeah, exactly. If you can get your notebook down there, you're good. Alice, I'm condoning a messy space. Elizabeth, I haven't been to work all week and I may not be able to go to my job next week either. I could end up on medical leave from work, but I'm going to take things one day at a time. Yes, for sure. Definitely. And assessing, right? See when you actually get, if it is just a chest cold, because you've just had the infection, right? So your body is down. So that chest cold could be hitting you harder than it should or would normally, right? So definitely, Stephanie, yeah, fear of success. Yes, we don't give ourselves permission to succeed. I don't understand it. I don't know where the mindset comes. Guys, you have the right to succeed. Write that on your wall. Write it on wherever, right in front of you on a piece of paper, on an index card. You have the right to succeed. Every right to it. Crystal, I'm loving this. Oh, thank you, hon. Jess, it's okay. I already told myself it's fine. Just leave it until next week. Yeah. Stephanie, Crystal, that's great. Her planning session is fantastic. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, hon. Okay, guys, we're going to go into our next panel. One of our newer ones here, misbeliefs. What bad choices have you been making that are affecting your overall health, energy, and concentration? Goal, make one small change this week. Example, drink water in place of sugary drinks. And I don't mean you have to give up all sugary drinks, okay? But if you're finding yourself reaching for and refilling your cup 10 times a day with fruit juice or pop or some other combination of sugary beverage, if you even reduce that by half and did 5 water instead, you're going to feel healthier. You're going to feel better. So, like, it doesn't have to be a huge change. Make them smaller changes so you can succeed. And like for me in coffee, guys, you know I love my coffee, but I don't always feel great after drinking it, especially these days since I've been reducing. When I drink a whole coffee, I feel it. I really feel it. I feel it in my skin. I feel that it's like it's more drying. I mean, yeah, we're in summer, but you know, it's everybody's already sort of in a state of dehydration a little bit when it's this hot out, right? But at the same time, I'm really feeling it and it's making me feel uncomfortable literally in my own skin. So I've been drinking, you know, sipping on an iced coffee and basically drinking it over, sharing it with my hubby instead, or drinking over a couple days myself. And that way I'm getting half the caffeine and half the coffee in my system, and it's working. Let's see here. Crystal Stephanie would cheer you on. Yes. Just does it look pretty and organized? No. Do I care enough to clean it with the Headspace Mint? Absolutely not. Upload. Yeah. And if you, like I said, if it's still usable, you're good. Elizabeth, I used to not give myself permission to not get work done when sick and beat myself up for not doing more. Then I burnt myself out at the end of January, and when the company shut down happened at my job, after someone hacked the company, I was able to use the time off to get some needed rest. Yes, and you so needed it at that point. I mean, I think that was fate stepping in and just making you rest because the timing was perfect, right? Let's see. Sevilla is delicious. Or a Starbucks, which I actually reduced my Starbucks to once a week on average. Yeah, I've kind of reduced to. I tend to do that in summer simply because it's I hide in places where there's AC, so I don't turn to dust. Elizabeth, I learned the difficult way what pushing yourself too hard does to a person. Yes, yes, for sure. Crystal, I do iced fruit flavored tea, no sweetener. Oh, I love that. Oh, tea with sparkling mineral water is also delicious too. I love that. I was looking for something interesting to drink. I will have to try that. Thank you, Crystal. Elizabeth, got me a rest. I am glad I had a needed break for those 3.5 weeks. And you, like I said, so needed that. Okay, guys, so let's figure out what we're going to do. What misbelief we're going to tweak, remove, whatever works for you. Like I said, smaller changes tend to be more successful, but you do you, right? All right, guys, and let's 2 minutes and let's figure out what it is we're going to work on this week to make ourselves feel better. And go. Yes, yes. Oops. Okay, what did you guys come up with here? Um, I took your suggestion, Crystal, and I've been looking for a beverage choice that would be satisfying. I want to see if I can find something that can allow me to, like refreshers at Starbucks has a bit of caffeine in it. I want to find something maybe like that that could put a little bit in. So either maybe do a green tea with maybe a splash of fruit juice and then the sparkling mineral water. That way I can get a little bit of caffeine, but not as much. And I'm reducing. It tends to make me feel better. And my reliance on caffeine is something that I don't want. I don't want the headaches when I can't have it and things like that, right? It doesn't feel good. Let's see, Jess, my inner critic tried to get me to me during Angela's sprints because I wasn't working like I should have been. But I had told inner critic to go pound sand. We're not doing that today. Good job, Jess. Exactly, Stephanie. I agree. Jess, I already feel bad enough today as it is. We're not doing the whole guilt thing today, too. Yes, exactly. Critic, goodbye, right? You see the door. Elizabeth, I am going to focus on recovery while I'm unwell instead of focusing on what could be if I was well. So true, because it's not helping you, right? How about green tea? I like green tea. I love green tea. I love matcha, but I feel like I want, and I think it's a summer thing, I want something more fruity and fun, and I tend to bring, this is the coffee. Guys, I love my coffee. You know this. But usually the ones that I pick from Nespresso are usually their fruitier blends, and they kind of have notes of either like cereal or fruity, and I'm very used to that on my palate. And so I'm trying to think of something summery comparisons. Like I said, the green tea, little fruit juice, and that I think I could find a complement to it that would be, which would basically give me the same thing, right? Let's see, Jess, we will still have Lexi tomorrow until at least Sunday, so that will actually distract me at least. That's good, that's good. Jess, yes, I do that as well. Perfect. Elizabeth, I was typing that right before you said green tea. I love my matcha though, guys. Oh, so good. Let's see, Elizabeth, you can have cold green tea with fruit. Definitely, yes. How about herbal tea? Yeah, there is a good one I haven't had for a while that I quite liked. Good suggestion, Elizabeth. I will be checking that out. See if I can still get some. Okay, guys, let's dive into our next section. Stage 2, scenes, strategies. This is where we're going to get into the nitty gritty and planning next week, guys. We now know where we've been, how we did, what we kind of still have to deal with from last week, what kind of we're carrying into it. Definition, a section where there is action, a beginning, middle, and end, and moves the story forward. We are writing your story, guys. Where do you want to be by the end of next week? Right? First panel, clarity. This is kind of taking that, a little bit of an analysis of what do we want to achieve this week? Why do we want to achieve it? And how are we going to achieve it? And we're going to enter the trials, because we're going to have to try stuff to see if we can find solutions to what we're trying to do. And I say trials because sometimes we will do something and it's not going to work for us, but we learn from that. We learn that maybe A and B did work, but C and D did not. And then we figure out and we start creating strategies that work for us personally so that we can succeed with a more regular, consistent basis, right? Let's see, Crystal, try Tazo orange tea, ice it, and add a half caffeine capsule to add a smidge of caffeine, toss in some cut fruit for flavor and flair. Oh, that sounds delicious and divine and decadent. Oh, I love that. Take a screenshot or photographs. You have me shopping. There. Okay, Crystal, I'll be shopping. Thinking about you while I'm out. Let's see here. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, there. I can go back and refer to that. Jess, I am going to plan my own virtual retreat the weekend. We have double down day because I will already be working most of the day Saturday anyway. I love that. Elizabeth, failure is a great teacher. Pain is a great teacher too. Yes, we learn from our mistakes. And as long as we're doing that, we're growing and improving. If we just destroy ourselves when we make mistakes, we're not going to get anywhere, right? So don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to try something, guys. We will learn what works for us by doing and trying and showing up for ourselves, right? Okay, guys, actions this is how we're going to start breaking things down. Next task steps. These are the natural ones that just, you can't can't bake the cake until you make the batter, right? Measured increments, giving ourselves a number goal or a time goal means that we can literally check those boxes. We want to put in 5 hours of writing this week. Well, we know that we can write Monday to Friday. Well, we know it's going to work best then if we do, if we can break it down to two 25-minute sprints with 5-minute breaks, there you go. There's your 5 hours of writing, right? And it's nice, it's healthy, and it keeps us on task, and it gives us some place to show up. And if we can see that we get our 5 hours in, then we know that we're more than likely to have actually moved the story forward or gotten some work on the task, because 5 hours of doing something is going to produce results. We can use our good, better, best goals. These are something that's very realistic, something with a little more challenge, and then over the moon. If we can hit that best, that would be awesome, but it doesn't have to be. And that way, if life throws a curveball at us, we can still most likely hit that good goal, right? Micro steps, breaking things down into teeny steps so that we can make it easier on ourselves and check all those boxes, which feels really good, right? It's going to make us feel like it's going to give us this positive spiral, right? Are there places where we can delegate? If we can hand something off to someone else, then knowing that they can get it done just as well as you can, that gets it off your schedule and makes it so that amount of time will open up for you for other things that you want to get done. Is there anything you simply just need to delete? I just added this one because it's a realization that sometimes we put things on our schedule that this is not the right time for them. This is not going to serve us. And really, we don't need to be doing this. And are there any problems or delays that have come up? And how is that going to impact your overall plan? Do we need to delay something? Do we need to push something, sort of maybe reduce it? Like, how are we going to manage this problem or delay, right? Let's see. Crystal, I know, lots of healthy tricks. I love it. Jess, I moved one of my classes that was planned for Q3 to Q4 because with the time off, I will have to rush through the Jordan and Rosendale, course to get to the third one, and I don't want to do that. That sounds really good. Elizabeth, I'm going to aim to do 5 sprints next week. So 1 sprint a day, Monday, Friday. Oh, I love that. Crystal, Jess, which one of her classes are you taking? Yes, please. Jess, the goal I really want most of all is to make this quarter is to finish my manuscript, so I'm going to reduce that goal. I love that. Yeah, because usually goal number 1 is our big one. That's going to be, at least half of our time is going to go into our big goal. And then if you do 3 goals, then those other 2 are going to get sort of divvied up the rest. They say they'll get, face it, we still got to leave at least 10% for all the life stuff, right, guys? They got to happen. Crystal, I always pray for the Holy Spirit to show me how to spend my time and let go of what is not important for that day. Perfect. All right, guys. And finally, deadlines. Time required. Be honest with yourself. Completion date. Scheduled. Get it on your calendar. That way you'll see it coming. You can honor it, and you can know that it is there for you, that you are working toward that specific deadline. So you're not going to fritter away the time, and you're going to make sure it happens. Daily and weekly goals and weekly check-ins. So you're checking in with yourself. You set that weekly goal and you break it down a little bit for the daily so that you can, it's those micro steps again. It's a little easier. Adjustments and refocus. Okay, guys, that's the strategies we're going to use now that we're diving into our plotting. Series of related events making up a story. So our 5 basic elements of story are setting, characters, plot, conflict, and resolution. These are all the things that we are trying to do and the things that we have to deal with. So you're going to have to figure out the places that you're going to have to go for all the things that you have to get done. The characters that you're going to have to work with to achieve these goals. Even if it's just yourself, the protagonist. The plot is the what. What are you trying to achieve? What do you want to do? What do you need to do? The conflict is all the things that are going to get in your way, and things are going to get in your way, guys. That's life. And then finally, the resolution of what the outcome you want to achieve. Okay, let's see. Let's see, Crystal, have peace at the end of the day. I know I followed correctly. Jess to Crystal, Crafting Masterclass with Writing Mastery Academy, and I meant Jordan Roosevelt. Thank you. That did look, I was like, hold on a second. My brain laughed aloud. WMA, nice. Elizabeth, I am still going to keep my goal of finishing this draft by October 15th. I think you got good time. I think you'll be okay. Let's see, Jessica. Oh my God, I thought AI recognized you. That's why I was curious if she had others. Elizabeth, I'm going to quit my Camp Nanorama goal since this infection and this chest cold has derailed me quite a bit. Yeah, you might be at that point. Try not to give up if you don't have to. Reduce it if you can, but really be realistic and realize that it is a challenge. It's a fun thing, and if it's not being fun, you don't need it, right? Plus, we have November coming, right, guys? Let's see. So let's get into our first petal. Quarterly focus, new to Q3, new opportunities, prep research, reduce, remove, delay. So we have anyone who does quarterly planning or yearly planning, you guys have a map that you've created of what you want to achieve this year or the next in the 3 months of Q3. So now you're going to take a look into that and see what you've designated that you see coming at you that you want to now start pulling into your actual weekly plan. This one is a new panel, conflict. This I feel very much relates to our Q3 planning. This is breaks in routine. This is our vacations, our surgeries, conferences and renovations, etc. Anywhere where things are going to not be a normal day or week. We go to a conference, you lose days before it, getting ready for the conference, and you will lose days when you get home because you have broken your normal routines for a weekend or a week or whatever it may be, and it takes time to get back into the flow of doing things. So we're going to work the two together because usually our vacations and stuff are already listed in our Q3 plans. So we're looking at places where you're going to need to relax, reset, recover, participate, and enjoy. And the other thing is if you know you have a vacation coming in mid-August and you really want to participate and enjoy and relax during that vacation, then that means you're probably not going to be taking on the workload that you normally do. So how are you going to stay on task to meet that deadline, knowing that you are losing a week? We'll say that you have a deadline to get your first draft done by August 31st, right? But you also know that you are taking a week off from August 3rd to the 10th, right? You're going to lose time before that for setting up for your vacation. You're going to lose time for after, but you still want to honor that August 31st. That means you are looking at those remaining times after the vacation to actually try to make up for that work. And what can you achieve before that vacation so you can give yourself the time to really enjoy that week off, right? Okay, guys, let's go through and look at our Q3 plans and our conflicts and see how we're going to manage things so that we can really take time off and enjoy during these beautiful summer months. Or like I said, if it's conferences or surgeries or anything like that, where you can get your ducks in a row so that you can enjoy that or actually give yourself the time you need. And go. Where am I here? Mm. Jason, start working blue. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Do, 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 Elizabeth, I can't have the stress of counting down around while I'm sick. Being stressed while sick can lengthen how long you're sick for. So true, so true. Let's see, Crystal suggests, I've wondered that as well. It's such a positive environment like WMA. Yes. Let's see, Crystal, my question is how to get back on track when facing multiple interruptions outside of your control while writing. I've heard it takes 20 minutes to get back into it, so that's a lot of time lost. We do things very differently on my writing sprints because we kind of can't remember the last time we actually did one. We used to do the 25-minute writing sprints until I found that what was quite often happening is we were just beginning to enter the flow state of writing and getting into our characters and our story worlds and moving things forward, and the timer would go off. So now we've been doing 45 minutes for quite some time now, and we just start trying the 60 as well, because it allows us to stay in a very deep flow state. Now, in terms of what I agree. One of the strategies that we use during the sprints is we use what I call either my 2-minute micro sprint plan, in which we figure out what we need to do for the next sprint. So we take a little moment to take a mini analysis of where we want to move the story forward to. So the 2-minute micro sprint plan is in the next sprint I will is the prompt to use, and you figure out what you need to reveal about character, plot, or setting, what you're trying to get your protagonist to do on the page, the obstacles and opportunities you're going to toss at them during that scene or chapter, the action steps you're going to take to make that happen, so the framework, the beginning, middle, end of that scene or chapter, the resources you're going to need, the outcome you're looking for, and any story questions that you have as the author to yourself, basically, about the story, what's working, what's not working, what's kind of getting to you that's not quite going on the page, right? And the other we do is we do 5-minute just journaling, which we've all found to be quite successful. And then we just take our little writer's notebook and we do a 5-minute little writing session before we get into the sprint. And it gets us back into the writing mode and thinking of our story and getting sort of that little warm up done. That's how we strategize for those. So I hope that helps. Just Crystal, I just looked you up on WMA Community Level. The profile pic is the same one. So I would think I would have realized that was you sooner. That's okay, Hud. That's okay. Jess, I'm letting go of the rest of my countdown of goal. 19,500 is just going to be what I finish with, and that's fine. That's great though, hon. That's not too bad at all. Let's see. Okay, guys, we are going to go into our next panel. Creative projects. This is our big one, guys. This is the one that's moving us forward and getting us on task to do the things that really matter to us. So active, on hold is and new. Generally speaking, like Rita, who's not with us today, she will actually work on, she's got, I think it's 3 or 4 projects going currently. And she kind of gives a week or two to one, and then she lets it sit for a bit, and then she'll work for another one for a week or two. And she's kind of been cycling through. So don't be afraid to use that strategy. It's actually working quite well for her. So active, on hold, and new. So active, what you're currently working on hold for whatever reason it is, it's on hold. Maybe you're waiting for another person or some piece of something, and your new ones are those, that's you're most likely going to be in your Q3 planning and you're pulling it forward. Process is your what, why, and how. What do you want to achieve this week? the purpose and the steps, focus, stage, or beats and order of importance you need to follow. Okay, guys, let's populate our plan with our main projects that we want to work on this week and give them shape by defining what you want to achieve this week and why you're choosing this project over another. And go. Is that right? I'm not putting too much on my plate, but I'm pretty sure next week is relatively light so far. At least for what I know about. Let's see. Crystal, that helps so much. Thank you. I do agree that longer sprints were best for me. Oh yeah, we are very unique at that. As I will get 30K, it just won't be by July 31st, but that's fine. Mental health is taking over the rest of July. Yeah, for sure. Nothing wrong with that. And don't beat yourself up about it. Let's see. Okay. New skills. This is one that I think that we created because we, as creatives, entrepreneurs, we are having to wear a lot of hats. And that also means we have to learn a lot of skills that we need to use for our businesses and for our creativity. So what new skills are you bringing in? This could even just start with basic research, watching videos, reading books on it, right? Why this? Why now? Do you have to apply for it or purchase something? Purchase a book, purchase a course? Do you have to apply for entry? Where there's some kind of a submission status or submission process you have to go through. Some workshops require you to write a sample writing piece, right? How are you going to, once you're in, how are you going to differentiate between your reading study time and what strategies are you going to implement for that? Your practice time, because to take in a new skill, you do need to practice. And then how are you going to evaluate your success and in determining how you're doing with learning this new skill? Let's see. I'm learning to drive, and yesterday we were practicing parking, and I wanted to die basically the first few times of going near any other vehicle. I don't do well with that so far, but by the end, I was doing better. I'm very, very nervous because I feel like I don't have that full control yet, that full instinct that comes with years and years of driving, right? So as I'm doing it, they're baby steps, and I'm getting, it was easier and easier the more I went back and forth trying it and moving, left to this vehicle or right of that vehicle, and moving, and just those smaller controls of the vehicle, right? Let's see, the good thing is I got ahead on my education goal with the quarter when the quarter started, so dropping third class will help me complete the goal. I love that. Okay, guys, so let's figure out those new skills, how they're going to shape, and what we're going to do, what piece we're going to work on. If you're doing something like this where you're learning from a book, how many chapters are you going to read this week? And are you going to practice the skills? Or are you going to just read through the book? How are you going to manage to take this information and see how you're doing, right? If it's a course, that's usually easier because there's usually little homework sections, which we love. I miss that. And go. Okay. Sprints. Let's do. Okay. Good. Stephanie OMG, my company, Desert Cats Publishing LLC, was just approved and filed by the state. You are awesome! Oh, I can't believe it. Congrats, honey. Oh. Oh, that is amazing. That is awesome. More confetti. Oh, wow. Did that just happen? Ah, that is so cool. Wow. Excellent, excellent. Ashley has joined us. Oh, hi. Is this a new time? This is a virtual writing retreat time. I looked for the one open window that we had in the entire week and took it for our plan with me. So no one had to decide whether they wanted to do writing sprints or planning. I didn't want to do that to anyone. So I just made it easy. Let's see, just to Ashley, just for this week because of the virtual writing planning right now, because virtual writing retreat planning right now because there was an open spot. Yeah. Thank you, Jess. Crystal, awesome. I did that May, June, and now I'm working through all the beats in the workbook, coupled with the new novel. I make everything extra tight. I'm on my 4th or 5th draft currently. Nice. So the way to go. Oh, yeah. Well, that's editing, right? Jess Melissa is sprinting during our normal Sunday planning session. I want to be there with her so bad. Okay, did I seriously just at myself in that comment? Man, my brain is really not working. That's okay, hon. Stephanie, we all the confetti. Yes. Yeah, literally just happened. I got it in my inbox. Jess, I've done that before, so don't feel bad. Jess, I thought that was a new technique. I love it. Okay, guys, let's do our next panel. I love the new skills. I'm getting better and better at breaking them down and even for the driving. First few weeks that I wrote that down, it was just go practice driving. Now I'm like giving myself pieces that I want to evaluate on, specifics, maintaining speed, or I should say, matching the speed of the road at all times, parking and turns, and making sure that I'm kind of able to check the boxes and I'm making progress each week. Let's see here. Important dates. This is our easy one. This is what we do in most calendars, guys, most planners. We, of course, do for the next 2 weeks because we want to see what's coming at us. So events, birthdays, appointments, commitments, and workshops, because we don't want to miss anything. Jenna did a workshop a while back, and I don't know, I think the time slot was slightly different, and a few of us missed it because it was not on our radar, and it was a little different on the time slot, and missed it. So we're trying not to do that anymore. We want to write the stuff down. So note travel time, because if you have an appointment or errand you have to run, you have to include that driving time. Any action steps that you need to take to actually prepare for it. If you're going on vacation, you got to pack, you got to buy tickets, you got to organize hotel rooms, right? So those are your prep things. If there's a confirmation that's required, even getting your dog groomed, you will usually get an email back the day or two before the appointment asking for you to confirm. Check that box, say, yeah, I'm going still. Or maybe something's gone up. I gotta reschedule, right? And any paperwork. Quite often we're handed paperwork for doctors or for different things, and we want to make sure that paperwork gets done before the appointment, and so we want to make sure we put that into our plan as well. So we're giving ourselves a half hour, an hour, whatever it needs, depending on the complexity, to fill out that form and make sure it's ready. Okay, guys, I usually use Google Docs for this one, but you use your monthly paper calendar, you use whatever it is, or wherever you write down your things that are coming at you, and let's figure out the next 2 weeks. So we're going to go from what are we doing here? We're going from the 24th to August 6th. We also should have a double down day in there. I think it will be on the 4th. Yes. The 5th, right? Yeah. Double down day will be August 5th, guys. Okay, and proceed. Let's Jenna. 27. Okay, what did you guys come up with? I just realized I need to add one. You guys know I am celiac, so I end up having to order special bread. And I didn't think I was going to have to do it this week, but it looks like I've run through my stash faster than I thought. So I'm going to have to add that into my plan. The phone call part, or the email, I should say, is easy. That takes me about 5 minutes. The pickup part is more like it just becomes an errand day. We just mix it all up into that and get everything done on the same day. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay. I have to go to the actual funeral. I won't go be so goofy around town, yeah, to make myself feel better. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's on the 5th. I'm looking at the date on Sarah's website now. Perfect. Thank you for confirming. Crystal Jess, we call funeral celebrations in our family. We miss our loved ones, of course, but we share family funny stories and memories and celebrate. They get to be in a way better place than we do. Yeah, I completely agree with that. When my parents passed, that's exactly what we did. We just shared stories about them and talked about them, and I did a memory board for the funeral so they could see their progression from a young couple first getting together to getting married and having kids and all the way around. And it was very therapeutic and much nicer than just a sad, most funerals are just a sad grieving event that I don't know if it's if you can share stories and just talk about the person and share memories of them. That's so much more powerful and it keeps them alive in your heart, right? Let's see. I'm just not there yet. Yeah, exactly. And you don't need to be. This just happened. You give yourself all the time you need. And that's the thing with grief as well, that it will hit you randomly. And I mean, I was just watching a movie with my daughter the other day, and the character turns around and gives her dad a huge hug, and it just about shattered me. I mean, right then and there, because I can't do that anymore. Like you don't even know where it's going to hit you sometimes, right? Okay, guys, we're going to dive in. I'm not going to cry. I promise. Okay, guys, supporting tasks. These are all those little things that keep life organized and keep us happy and healthy and hopefully active. These are our chores, errands, meal planning, exercise plan, admin tasks. Business planning, we need to make room for that in our plan if we want to succeed. Our banking, our bill due dates, our planning for daily and weekly. We want to know where we're going to fit in our daily planning. Is it more of a nighttime ritual or a morning ritual or both? It can be both, definitely. And the live sprints you want to attend, we are all Hardies. So, and author, part of the AuthorTube community, where do you want to get your writing in? And who do you want to hang out with while you're doing it? And batch related tasks together. So if you have those series of those little, 5-minute tasks that kind of are easy to go, yeah, I could put that off. Put 5 of them together. One sprint. Get them done. Yeah, let's switch gears before I break Tracy. Like I said, it's, I miss them, but I also understand that, it's, I try to, I don't want to cry in front of you. Just don't. Okay, guys, supporting tasks. Let's do this. This is the nitty gritty, guys. Let's figure out where things are going to work. We're going to the heavier days. If you can try to break down your week where you're just doing 1 or 2 days of those errand days and maybe one day where your chores are and then tidy days in between, that can make your schedule more systematic and allow you to switch gears more easily into your creative spaces. Okay, guys, let's do this here, 2 minutes, and let's populate our plan with all those things that we got to do. So, So, oh, let's see. Okay, how did that one go for you guys? Let's see. I'm going to take an Epsom salt bath this evening. Oh, that sounds lovely. Close my eyes for a short bit. You are tired, hon. You need rest. Jess, here's a funny visual for you. I was taking the sheets off the bed this morning to throw them in the wash, and I pulled too hard and wet myself in the face. Oh no, hon. Oh, are you okay? Oh. Jess, I love that. This is a safe space. I would be so much better in person, context-wise. I don't think text can convey my words accurately enough. Also, I'm a hugger. Oh yeah, I know, right? I was just once I'm better, I'm going to pick a day or two a week to do laundry, and I'll sweep vacuum a few times a week. I love that. Jess, Crystal, me too. I agree. Yeah. Crystal Jess, that's hilarious. I thought stuff like that only happened to me. Yes, my glasses saved me more or less. Oh no! Oh, don't take out your glasses, son. That's a whole other nightmare that it's having to deal with. Whoa, careful, hun. Okay, guys, we are going to move into the protagonist of our story, you, and how we're going to better take care of you. This is the character who drives the action, and we need to take care of that character to make sure that you're happy and healthy and able to do all the things you want to do. So the first thing we're going to look at is the storyboard. We're going to think in terms of full days, where we have all the time in the world to work on our tasks. Half days, where we got an appointment in the afternoon or something, so we only have the morning to work on our stuff. Pinch days are those crazy busy days when we are out of the house most of the day. And we still want to get a pinch of our creative stuff in. So that could simply be one writing sprint, or editing a video for 20 minutes and just moving the bar a little bit forward as we maybe sit down at our desk and eat dinner or something. Like, we kind of combo things on the pinch days because they're crazy busy, right? There's life task days. These are sometimes our errand days, where we got to get all the stuff done. We got to get the groceries. I got to pick up any maybe dry cleaning if any of us do that anymore. I haven't been to a dry cleaner in a million years. I discovered t-shirts. But yeah, any of those things that we're going to kind of be running around. You got to maybe go to the pet store and pick up some pet food, and you go to the bank, and you gotta, so kind of what we try to do is we try to put those all into one day, so we're not running out of the house for little trips. We have just like an errands day where everything gets done, and then we know the rest of the week we have more control. And then literally days off. There is nothing wrong with planning a day off. Try to give yourself a 5 or 6 day work week, and that way you can have a true day of rest. So what I normally do is I just go through the weekly portion, and at the top of each day, I just put a O for off, L for those days when I'm gonna know it's gonna be a heavy errand day, which I already can see is gonna end up being Tuesday. Pinch days are actually, that's gonna be a mental day. But I still think it's a life test day. Pinch days, I think maybe my Thursday this week, and then the half days and the full days, in which I can really get into what I need to do creatively, and the half days where I'm going to have to leave in the afternoon to do something, but at least I can take the morning to get things done. Okay, and proceed. So FHPLO. Okay, and proceed. So, so this is gonna be this is gonna be a half. It's gonna be a life. So I call this a should be able to be a full. It's gonna be a half. So how did that go for you guys? Normally, I give my Saturday and Sundays as full days, but I think I'm gonna give Sunday as a half day, and I'm gonna make the evening the some family time. Maybe go out for dinner, and actually this weekend we have a jazz festival in our little neighboring touristy area, and I think that we need to go to that. So at some point, I gotta get to this jazz festival here. I guess I have to do a little research on it because I don't actually know much about it. Um, and see what it is that so I put those down as full days, but I didn't know about the jazz festival then. So I'm gonna have to do a little tweak to that for this weekend because that sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm gonna add some research today. This is actually just this is how we do our plans, guys. We actually have to, tweak and adjust as we go throughout the week. All right, let's see. Yeah, it wasn't coming off like I wanted. I got a little too frustrated and yanked it. Mission accomplished, though. It came off the bed. Oh, yeah. Elizabeth, once I'm better, I will clean my weighted blankets. Oh, those must be fun to get dry. I can't even imagine. Hard on a washing machine, I would think. Jess, I'm planning Monday to Friday off and working Saturday and Sunday next weekend, unless we haven't had the funeral yet. Then I'll have to take the weekend off too. Yes. If we've had the funeral, then next weekend I should be able to slowly get back to writing, even if it's not full speed until Monday. That's fine. Yes. Will we still have sprints? If no, it will for sure have sprints. I'm not going to mess with that part. If I'm the jazz festival will go in the evening stuff and do that. I'm not going to do anything during the day. I have been looking forward to the virtual writing retreats so badly that I'm going to make them both work. Stephanie, I just realized I have to reschedule a doctor's appointment. See, a good catch. Elizabeth, I have a plan to go to Cape Cod tomorrow where my uncle is vacationing. My parents want to go. It's a 2-hour drive from where I live. Well, that's kind of cool. Well, you need that fun and you need that sun. When do you all do this next? We will do this next weekend on the 30th, Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So that is our normal time slot. I usually, if I have to move it, I'll move it to the Saturday. The virtual writing retreats are kind of a special weekend, so we only do those 4 times a year. So they tend to create more chaos. Let's see, Elizabeth, the weighted blankets can't be washed in the washing machine. Oh, I did not know that. Interesting. Jess, okay, I thought it was next weekend. Never mind. I may not be at the sprint anyway because Lexi, yes. Do what you can. Gonna have a chaotic weekend, hun. Crystal, yeah, we usually plan on Sundays, definitely. Okay, guys, we're gonna move into the next 2 parts of the protagonist. Self-care. We are going to make sure that we schedule our self-care because we deserve it and we need it. So some of the self-care that you can use to refill the well are favorite activities, getting outdoors, trying something new, and journaling. So where can you fit your self-care into your schedule? It can be anything as simple as just sitting down for 10 minutes to read a book that you really, for pleasure, for enjoyment. It can be something more complex like doing an art project, or it can just simply be a walk outside. It could be any of those things that makes you feel good and just renews and refreshes you and gets you out of that headspace and out of maybe a workspace where you can take that physical break from it and do something different. The other one we're going to work on is our mental health and buffer days. We're going to figure out where we try to put in a wellness or sick day. That way, if you need it, it's already scheduled in. If you don't need it, it's a bonus day. Figure out maybe where your low energy days are. I have seasonal allergies and we get our property mowed on Mondays and our neighboring property does it on Tuesdays. So I'm very much reflecting and finding that my Mondays and Tuesdays are not nearly as productive as the rest of the week because I don't feel great from allergies. So I'm learning to create those as my low energy days and schedule in low energy tasks so that I'm still moving the needle forward, but I'm not taxing myself out or working when I'm extremely uncomfortable. There's catch-up days as well. So I try to put these in once or twice a month. That way I can take a couple weeks of work, and if I'm kind of behind, I've got a catch-up day that I can get myself back on track. And I know that's coming, and I know that I can get all those little things that didn't quite get ticked off, and there's the day for it. And reset days. These are going to be our days where we just take a day and take our normal routine and say, no, this is our reset day. We're gonna check some other boxes. We're maybe gonna still do a little bit of writing and stuff, but it's kind of a different feel to the day. So scheduling your mental health and sick days, if you don't need them, they become bonus days. So let's figure out and put into our schedule where we're going to put our self-care, our sick days, our low days, low energy days, and maybe a catch-up day if you feel like you're kind of coming up to needing one, and maybe in mental health days as well, where you're going to take a little easier on yourself and go. Mm. So, goodness. Mm. Mm. The one thing I haven't gotten down yet is my schedule for a video, and I don't quite like what I came up with, so I think I'm going to try to tweak that this week a little bit better. I tried to make it, I think, too many days, so it'd be like little nibbles, and I didn't feel that it worked for me. I think I maybe need to try to maybe do related tasks and kind of hit them over maybe 3 days. I think that might work better. Let's see. Elizabeth, going on a day trip tomorrow will be a self-care. Oh, I agree, for sure. Reading and listening to music will also be self-care. Love that. Yes, listen to music, dance around. Yes, that's excellent self-care. Just actually Saturday and Sunday will probably be reset days to go back to work on Monday. Stephanie taking a sick day today. Ah, yes. I'm not super sick, but just icky enough that I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, right? And sometimes that sick day also will take in, if a sick day hits on a day when it's like one of those errand days as well, then that feels like your whole week just falls apart because that was your day you were going to leave and get all the stuff done. But don't feel bad if you have to reschedule that, because you want to be taking care of yourself when you're not feeling well. And running around doing errands is probably going to tire you out more than is good for you, right? Just yeah, don't force yourself to come to writing sprints if you don't feel good. Yes, just it's a stomach bug more than anything. Toast, applesauce, banana, and ginger ale. Those will make you feel good. I missed one. Oh, rice. That was the other one that's good for that. Okay, guys. We are finally at the stage 5, which is our story beats. The definition, the frame over which you drape your plot. This is where we're going to outline our story for the week. We're going to create our master plan ideal week, which can be always can be subject to change. This is giving just some shape to our week and giving ourselves an idea of when we can do things. If something has to be moved, do not feel bad. That is the reality of life. But we create an ideal week, a master plan for the week, so that we can give shape to it and we have an idea of how things can be balanced out and we're not stressing ourselves out too badly. We're going to create Monday's plan, including our top 3. We're going to populate our planner so that everything is in its place and ready to go, so we can just simply be checking boxes and being on top of everything. We're going to schedule that self-care, our mental health days, and our buffer days. And as you create your outline for the week, can you successfully manage to do everything you've chosen with the time you have? Don't be afraid to make adjustments as needed. There's going to be reality when you hit the page that there's no way that Wednesday can be a full day. You've just realized that you have a doctor's appointment in the morning. It now has suddenly become a half day. What is that going to do to the actual goals that you're trying to create? You've just lost half of that day's time that you were going to work on things. So you're going to reduce it. And you're not going to beat yourself up about it, because you know that you're not a superhero. You need to actually reflect and be honest with your body and your well-being, right? So do not beat yourself up. Be honest on the page. If you end up feeling better, maybe you get back from that appointment earlier, so you have 2/3 of the day instead of half the day. You get more time, but at least you didn't overwhelm your schedule, right? Let's see, Elizabeth, this planning session is self-care for me. Oh, thank you, hon. I'd say that I can do what I've chosen to do. Yes, definitely. And like I said, don't be afraid to reduce, guys, because you might surprise yourself and actually end up doing more because you haven't overwhelmed your plate, and you might have that little more time than you thought. Something might happen where something gets canceled or something, right? So just, realistic plans will create bigger dreams and bigger success. See, Elizabeth, 5K words for next week is a reach goal for me. So if I can get 5K goals, that's great. Yeah. And it's just simply showing up for, a couple sprints each day, and you'll get that 5K like nothing. And you will probably end up doing more, but at least you know that you've given yourself a little bit of accountability without overdoing it, right? Hey guys, As always, celebrate your successes, gold star moments, and best fixes. Put literally throughout the week, put stars on your plans as things just come through and work, and you manage to deal with situations as they come up and get back on task. Give yourself gold stars for that. How will your story end? Follow the plot and enter your new world, guys. Because that's what we're doing each week. We're getting better and better at creating the world and as we want it to be versus the one that we have been allowing to shape us. We're going to shape it. Okay, guys, we have about a half-hour break before we're going to come back and get our writing sprints in. So get your space tidied up, put your planner stuff aside, and get your writing stuff out. Refresh your beverage, get a nice tall glass of water, get any resources out you're going to need, and yeah, we're going to get into writing and moving our stories forward. See, Elizabeth, I've given myself a mostly non-writing week, so next week I'll aim to do a small amount of writing each day that I can. Oh, perfect. Okay, guys, I'll see you in a half hour. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I will see you in a little bit. I'm excited to move the story forward and try a couple new little techniques that I've learned this week. Okay, I will see you guys in 30 minutes. Thank you. Bye, guys.